It is 2025, a whole nother new year. 2024 flew by, and here we are on another episode. I can't be more excited. I feel like I tell y'all I'm excited every time, but it's exciting for me because I'm just finally crossing some things off my list and doing something that kind of makes me nervous. I still haven't quite gotten over being nervous recording myself. We getting there. We are definitely getting there. I'm a work in progress, but I'm still here, still recording episodes, still making content, still just doing something that just fulfills me and provides me with so much like joy and just has my cup running over. So what's been going on, y'all? What has been going on? How is January treating you so far? We are halfway through the month of January, and February will be here before we know it. So these 365 days are just, they are rolling. Why is that? When I was younger, I couldn't wait to be an adult. Now I'm kind of like, I'm here and it's like, somebody lied. This was a setup. Take me back. I want to go back to living home with my parents. Like, adulting, ghetto. For the ghetto. I'm over it. I'm through. But for real, how many of you guys have set goals and plans for the new year? Have you decided what you wanted to change? If you were going to go on a diet, if you were going to be a gym girly, if you were going to work on a new goal, go back to school. What is it? What goals do you guys have set for yourself for the new year? You want to tell me? Share? So with me, I typically set goals throughout the year. I do kind of participate in the traditional, bringing in a new year, doing those things, eating the grapes under the table, doing my vision board. And I did do that this year. Actually, I do a vision board every year. But I'm constantly working on the things that I want to change, or if there's something new I want to learn, or, just those things. And I do it by journaling. So throughout the year, all the goals and plans that I have set for myself, I just write them out in a journal. And those things can change from month to month. And I don't mean just lose 10 pounds. Register for a class. It could be anything. I write everything down in my journal, everything. Sometimes when I'm trying to figure out my bills and plan a trip, I'll put my bills in there and see how much I need to save for a trip. Or if I need to get tires for my car, I'll put my budget in my journal so I can move the money around within my savings. Or if I want to go shopping, how can I set a budget for shopping? I do my grocery list in there. If there's books I want to read, I put lists of books I want to read. If there are classes that I want to take, as for my continuing education, as far as being a licensed esthetician, I put those in there. Everything goes in my journal. I even put my letters to God in there, little side notes, little quotes or positive affirmations that I can go back and read. Sometimes I use my journal for note taking while I'm in service, if I forgot to bring my other little notebook. I've been journaling for a really long time. And when I was younger, I didn't, probably in my 20s, I didn't understand why I always like to write stuff down. But when I was younger, I didn't really grow up in a household where my mom talked to me. Her way of communicating was for me to write a letter or write everything down. So as I got older, the best way for me to express myself or to remember things or to just trying to keep track of things of what's going on, I would journal. So I've been journaling and writing for as long as I can remember. But through therapy, I now I don't have to always journal or write everything down or express my feelings. I'm able to communicate and articulate my feelings verbally a whole lot better. Shout out to my therapist and going to therapy and being adamant about, wanting to change. And to just, grow as an individual, as a woman. So yeah, journaling. I love it. I actually have one of my journals here. Look at this, y'all. This thing is tore up, beat up. Look, I told you I have little stickies. It's pretty much almost full. Let me see. Oh, Lord, look. I got loose papers in here. What is this? See, it's time to reset. Notes from church service at the top of the new year. Let's see what else I have in there. Life-changing events. Like, looks like a little note I wrote to myself. Life-changing events are happening to me. I am living a life I could only dream. I have put into work and I have allowed the universe to work for me and through me. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. My businesses are thriving. I am financially free. My bills are paid. I no longer worry about money. Money flows like a waterfall. I travel to places I never heard of, and my family gets the benefit from my success. I understand that all things take time and they cannot be expedited. Ultimately, I will be rewarded for being patient. I wish I would have wrote the date on that on when I wrote that out. I have no idea when I wrote this out, but these are the things that like I do and talk to myself. Wow. This is crazy. So I just found a note I wrote to myself. April 17th of 2023. Should I read it? All right, I'm gonna read it. What the hell? Okay, it says, "Hey Shantae, how are you? Hey Shantae, how are you? Last week you started a new job. You did it. You decided to start over. You continue to amaze me. You continue to make sacrifices to move forward in life. I know you are the kind of woman to do everything your heart desires. I know you were kind of scared about how you will survive, but continue to trust Yahweh. He is guiding you. He's still the light on your path. I love you." Whew, that just made me teary-eyed. So, I left a job that I was with for 5 years because it was interfering with me being a single mom. So the schedule was hectic, and if anybody has ever worked in retail, like it could be crazy, the hours, especially around the holiday times. It could just get a little bit overwhelming. So I had told myself and I had prayed to God, like, hey, I would really like a job where it's 9 to 5 and I have a schedule to be able to show up and be there for my baby. Oh, that was a lot. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Whew, sorry about that. So to be able to like show up for my baby. And of course, something came through for me, and it's like a Monday through Friday. You know, my schedule's like 7:30 to 4:30. I can get my baby to school. I can pick him up. I can be there for all of his games. We can go away for the weekend. I'm off when he's off because it's with the Department of Education. Like, so this is crazy to be able to see this. But this is why journaling is so important. And I'm pretty sure I have notes in there where I was saying like how I wanted to leave the job to be able to do that. It's a lot in here. Like, it's like filled with stuff. Weird. It's filled with stuff. Journaling has always been like an outlet for me. Just a way of like releasing things sometimes when I don't feel like I have somebody to talk to about what's going on in life and my mind. You know, of course I go to God and pray about everything, but sometimes it just feels good to kind of like just sit with the person. I've actually gotten to, you know, better with that because of like therapists. So of course I can always call my therapist and talk to her when I have an outlet. Sometimes depending on what it is, I may talk to my parents. Like last year before last, I had really bad anxiety. I had a really hard time sleeping at night. Like it was like really bad. There were times where I couldn't sleep. And we're talking 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and my heart would be racing. It just felt like I couldn't swallow. My throat was closing. Sometimes I would be freezing cold. And I would, you know, call my mom or I would call my daddy. And it's so crazy because both my parents have to be up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Like my dad has to report to work at like 4:35. So calling him at 2 o'clock in the morning, and both my parents would just like talk to me or pray with me until I was able to like fall asleep. It was like bad, really bad. One time I called 911. I had such a bad anxiety attack. I thought I was having a heart attack. I really thought I was dying. And I was on the phone with my mom, and I called 911 because she couldn't talk me out of the anxiety attack. And I don't know where it was stemming from. It could have been like stress of everything that was going on with just life and just being able to maintain yourself, and then being a single mom and just everything going on around. I just could not get my shit together. So they came in, they did like a hold on. All right. So they came in, they did like an EKG. They said everything was fine. They asked me if I wanted to go to like, you know, the emergency room, and I said no. Like my mother stayed on the phone with me the entire time that they were there. They left. My mom was able to like, you know, talk to me until I fell asleep. There's not a lot. I have friends who watch this, so some of them don't know about this. And sometimes it's hard to like be open and share things that you go through when you're the strong friend. It can be very difficult to show up for yourself and just kind of get yourself through things when you're always a strong friend. And it's like you feel like you should be able to have people to go and talk to. And sometimes when you're that strong friend, I've experienced where sometimes I feel like people don't know how to show up for you in the way they show up for you. People don't know how to show up. You don't know how to that just frustrated me. People don't know how to show up for you in the way that you show up for them. Like, does that make sense? Whew, I almost couldn't get that out. But yes, like I remember one time, like I was going through a really bad breakup, and in my mind, it was definitely like, fuck that bitch. Like, fuck everything about her. Fuck it all. But also in the midst of that, like, you know, you were with a person for so long, and just not being able to wrap your mind, like, what is transpiring, like, what's happening, like, you're no longer going to be with this person that you kind of like set and prepared yourself to be with. And in the midst of saying like, fuck her, this shit is for the birds, like whatever, I ain't tripping off her, I'm gonna move on, like this ain't nothing but fuel to the fire. Like I bet she thought I wasn't gonna, you know, be where I am today. I'm gonna pop my shit. Okay, I ended up breaking down crying, and I could just hear my phone on the other side just like dead ass silent. In the silence, it felt like she didn't know what to say. She had no words. In that moment, I was like, oh no, bitch, if you don't suck up these fucking tears, like, it's gonna be okay. And I immediately was kind of like, anyways, fuck that bitch. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Taurus, so I will have a breakdown or whatever, or I could cry about something or be upset, and then it would just be like, boom, okay, well, what the fuck is next? Like, what else do I have to do? Like, what's the next move? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got shit to do. We don't got time to be crying over bitches, over niggas, however, whatever, or this situation. Like, this shit is gonna be okay. These things are temporary. Like, I'm the type of person where I see things, I recognize it for what it is. I have my moment, I brush myself the fuck off, and I keep that shit fucking moving. Like, I don't have time to sit in that. And that's just me. Everybody is different. It takes some time, but I don't know, life, maybe my struggles, my experiences, my upbringing. I can't sit in shit too long. Like, pray about it and keep it moving. Pray about it, let it go, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna fucking happen. And that's just how I've learned to treat things. And it is what it is. But yeah, my outlet is definitely journaling. If you ever feel like, you know, you can't express yourself, like if you're not able to talk to family and friends, if people feel like people don't, you know, understand you, like you don't have that outlet, get a journal. Like, you can find a little journal at the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, any of these little stores. Of course, Dollar Tree, $1.50 or whatever the case may be. You know, Walmart, Target, Family Dollar, Dollar General stores. Like, you can get a little book for like $5. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just something that, in the midst of things, that you can write down your goals and plans. You can write down your thoughts. Because sometimes as a woman, like, this shit don't shut off. My mind don't shut off. Like, I'm always constantly thinking about something. And it just feels good to release it, put that pen to paper, and to just put those things down where it's kind of like, okay, now it's not clouding, my judgment, or it's not weighing on my shoulders. Like, it's in a book. I know that this is something I need to do, or this was something that was on my mind, or I'm going to give it to God, or I'm going to do what I have to do to move past the situation, or to make sure I have the money to be able to do this. Like, whatever it is, like, now it's in my book, and I'll revisit it when I need to, or I give it to God and I'll let him take care of it. And you know what I'm saying? I just let go and let God. And that's just what works for me. Now, I'm going to always tell y'all what works for me. You can be like, okay, I'm going to try that. Or you can just, just be listening, vibing, wanting to see my cute face or whatever. But yeah, and it's so crazy because probably like a year or two, maybe last year sometime, I was trying to, like, me, I'm a hustler. So what else can I do to bring in extra income? My ass, I went on YouTube, wonderful YouTube, and there was a girl on there. She was talking about Book Boat and how you can make extra $500-$700 making journals. Let me tell y'all about, okay, first of all, I have not made no $500, $700, $1,000 off no Amazon making journals. They left out some information on how to be successful at that shit. But I did. I did it anyways. I created like 5 or 6 journals, some like paperback, some hardback, ranging from like 100 to 500 pages. And I sell them from like under $15 on Amazon. And this is one of them. This is like a little, just a little copy. It says Free Your Dreams. I got for free. And it's a paperback. Just some blank pages where you can just write down your thoughts, ideas, prayers, however you want to use your journal. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you've never journaled, I encourage you this year, try it. And if you want to support me, you can buy one of my journals on Amazon. You can search Love Always Sean. And like I said, I probably got about 5 or 6 on there. You can buy one of mine. But, really try it. Like, really see what it does for you in planning and releasing and letting things go and just talking to yourself. Because sometimes, as you can see, like, I had a whole letter that I had written to myself. So yeah, like, I just encourage you to do something different for yourself. Get into journaling, write notes down, write your thoughts down, and just kind of release it. Because as we all know, with everything going on, find another way. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. I just found it crazy of all the mayhem this morning with TikTok being banned and people not knowing what to do. Last night I sat in bed, and usually I kind of like spend some time scrolling before I go to bed. I have like a little method of how I decompress. Yeah, a method. So I like, spend a couple minutes scrolling through my apps. Then I will pray. Of course, I put my phone down, pray, send out whatever last little text messages if I'm talking to my littles or whatever. Get myself comfortable. I turn my TV on to something like Martin, Living Single, My Wife and Kids, Jamie Foxx show. And I just mute it and I just put it on. I put the sleep on the TV for about an hour just to, as I allow myself to like completely power down. But last night, I didn't even scroll. I didn't scroll. Once I got in bed, I ended up picking a book that I had been reading probably for about a year now. I've been horrible. So that's on one of my little things for the new year, is to kind of spend more time reading my books. I have a full library, probably like 10 of them I have not read yet. So I read my book last night until I got sleepy, and I was able to, just rest myself from that and not with social media, which worked for me. I enjoyed it. So I said, I'm going to do it again tonight. I do it again tonight. Pick up my book, read it until I get sleepy, and say my prayers and call it a night. But yeah, How do you decompress? Pile yourself down for bed, you know? Letting go of the worries of the world. Journaling could be a good way of doing that too. Like, you know, if you just, whatever thoughts that are on your mind, like if you have anxiety, like how I had, that helped too. My therapist, she walked me through changing up my nighttime routine. So we talked about that. So I would journal, pray, and then read something like a self-help book until I got sleepy. So I did that last year up until I guess the anxiety subsided. And it's gonna a good little minute. Like I can't even think how long it's been. Probably close to, 11 months to a year now since I haven't been able to sleep due to my anxiety. And I can't, like I said, I don't even know where it was stemming from. But journaling at night before going to bed, just getting off my thoughts, my worries or whatever it is that I need to accomplish the next day or whatever I was trying to do within that month, adjusting to my new job, like all of those things. So it kind of really helped me. So I'm hoping and encouraging you, whatever it is that you have set for yourself in 2025, to add a journal to it. Pick up a journal and write those things down, to remind yourself and just to look back at it. Even if it's in every 30 days, you go back to page 1 and just review, and whatever positive notes you've written down to yourself, whatever was stressing you, something pissed you off, a conversation that you've had, something that you've seen. Sometimes little thoughts that I feel like, where it's like the Holy Spirit or God or the universe is telling me like a jewel or just something. I put in my journal and I go back to it, kind of like a little deja vu. And it's like, oh my gosh, I remember writing this down. It's in my journal. And I go back to it and I just have a sense of like release. Or if I'm able to, like I told y'all, sometimes like I'll just plan for a trip. And once I finally get my budget and the savings account where it needs to be, it's like a check mark. A goal knocked off the list. Like I feel so accomplished. It's so empowering. You just release a lot. So yeah, journaling. Well, anyways, I hope, January is off to a great start for each of you. I hope that, whatever goals or plans you have set for the new year, you're diligently working on those things and you haven't quit on yourself. I mean, it's still the first month of the year. It being cold outside, sometimes I have a a hard time with new things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, prime example, like if you said you wanted to go to the gym and it being cold outside, does that deter you from wanting to go? Like, does it make you feel like it's too cold, I want to stay in bed? I feel like that happens. So what I would say this is me, is set your alarm even earlier so you can snuggle in bed maybe for like 15 minutes and then get out. So like with me, I used to wake up at like 5:15, but now my alarm is set at 4:45 so I can be out of my bed at 5. Well, yeah, be out of my bed by 5. Before I get out of my bed, I pray and talk to God. Like I told y'all, it's like a scroll of everything that I go through, giving him thanks and praises for everything that I have and for everything he's doing and for everything that's on the way and everything that he's blocked, prevented from happening between, for me and my family and my family and my friends and my loved ones. And then I work out. Like I work out in my house. I have like accumulated things over a time period. Actually, let me tell you, I just went to Aldi probably about 2 weeks ago, and they have like fitness stuff in there. Man, I got a 20-pound slam ball for $10. $10. I was so happy and excited. I text my friends, sending them the ad, like, hey, we was just talking about this. Now, like I said, I already have like equipment and stuff, but I don't have like a 20-pound slam ball. I think I have like a 2-pound, but a 20-pound. I was like, baby, these squats about to be squatting. This thing, y'all ladies, I was not playing. But for real, so you know, adding that to my collection so that I can work out. So now I use my slam ball. I do a full like workout with my slam ball, doing like a full body workout. So I do that for 15 minutes and then I like shower and prepare myself for the day. And it works for me. But yeah, so like I always tell y'all, God is good. God is great. And whatever you guys have set for yourself for the new year, like I said, I hope you haven't given up and quit on yourself and diligently work on those goals, on those plans. Continue to, you know, feed your soul, doing those things that, you know, you love and motivate you and just keep you uplifted. And remember, y'all, a day at a time. And tomorrow isn't promised. Don't, you know, overly rush yourself trying to do things. Just, you know, just be patient with yourself. Have patience and for all those things that are like, you know, that you want to come forth in life, and just continue to, you know, talk to God about it and how or journal those things. I do both. They both work for me. Journaling is a way, it's like a receipt for me. Like it's proof that like I talked to God about this. It's proof that he showed up for me. And it just works. It just works. I don't know. It just works for me. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, God is good. God is great. Again, I hope January is going great for you. I can't wait to see what is in store for the rest of the month and introduction into February. What's even in store for the year, y'all? Like, I'm just going to continue to, you know, share my love with y'all and share my stories and be in this space of like vulnerability. Ooh, it's really hard. Like, I feel like when I first started off, I was nervous. And then after I kind of like opened up and kind of like shed a little tear, I don't know. I felt a little bit better. So I don't know. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for y'all. Hopefully, you know, I shared something today that really resonated with you. Yeah. Peace and love. God is good. God is great. I love y'all. See y'all next episode.